Good morning, all my fellow equitable, fair minded, honorable patriots. I chose three stories from the fake news media, and they all sympathize with this murderer. You can tell from the headlines. In fact, I chose one just for laughs. Let's start out with CNN. Missouri executes man after U.S. Supreme Court denies request for delay. Let's read that first paragraph. Missouri executed death row inmate Ernest Johnson on Tuesday after the U.S. Supreme Court rejected a petition earlier in the day that had sought to delay it, citing an intellectual disability. Dun, dun, dun. I took the small bus to work. Therefore, your laws don't mean nothing. Yes, they do. Now, CNN at least gives a brief recap of what this man did. So let's read it. Johnson, who was convicted of robbing a gas station and murdering three clerks nearly 27 years ago. That's right. This man robbed and murdered three people. He was pronounced dead at 6:11 p.m. after the administration of a lethal injection, according to Karen Pajman, communications director for the Missouri Department of Corrections. Keep that in mind. Now, CNN really tries to get you to empathize and sympathize with this man. Let's go down to the very bottom of this thing. Johnson, in a handwritten last statement shared with the members of the media on Tuesday, said in part, "I am sorry and have remorse for what I do." He also said that he loved his family and friends and thanked his lawyer and those who had prayed for him. He actually said a lot more than that, and we'll find out exactly what he said in this handwritten letter in the second news story. Let's go to it now. Look at this. This is from BoltonBuzz.com. Ernest Lee Johnson hanged in Missouri for the 1994 triple murder. Wow! Are you trying to tell me he didn't die by lethal injection, but Missouri hanged this black man? This poor little retard? Let's go on. Ernest Lee Johnson was hung by the state of Missouri on Tuesday. There they go again. Missouri hung this poor man after he spent more than 25 years on death row following his punishment in the killing of three employees at a convenience store in 1994. There you go. They're trying to lay sympathy for him by just barely stating the fact that he killed three people. Johnson was scheduled to be hung at 6 p.m. and died soon after from an injection of pentobarbital. What? Wait, what? If he was hung, why was he injected? Looks like they had pre-written the story and instead of doing a full correction, did the bare minimum on it. If this isn't fake news, I don't know what is. When you lead with this story that the man is hung, and then in your opening sentence, you say the man was hung, and then in your second paragraph, you finally admit that he died by lethal injection, well, you're all screwed up, aren't you? Let's now take a look at that final statement of good old Ernest Johnson. I am sorry and have remorse for what I do. I want to say that I love my family and friends. I am thankful of all that my lawyer has done for me. They made me feel loved, as if I was family to them. I love them all. For all the people that has prayed for me, I thank them from the bottom of my period. I love the Lord with all my heart and soul, If I am executed, I know where I am going to heaven because I ask him to forgive me, God, everyone. With respect, Ernest Johnson. It almost wants me to start believing in heaven and hell because I sure as hell know where this man would wind up if there was a heaven and hell. He would wind up exactly where his lawyer would if there was a heaven and hell. Let's get on to the last story now. Missouri executes Ernest Johnson for 1994 triple murder despite intellectual disability. You're looking into the eyes of evil right there, my friends. Let's see what he did to deserve this death sentence. At trial, however, prosecutors argued that Johnson used a claw hammer to fatally bludgeon a manager, Mary Bratcher, 46, and employees Mabel Scruggs, 57, and Fred Jones, 58, during a closing time robbery at Casey's General Store in Columbia. The victims were also shot, and Bratcher was stabbed in the hand with a screwdriver. According to court documents, Johnson was stealing money for drugs when he carried out the murders on February 12, 1994. There you have it. This man, in order to get high, he killed, butchered, brutally murdered 3 people with a hammer, a screwdriver, and a gun? This is what the news hates to report on. They want you to feel sorry for this man because he was not that he was just a brutal murderer of 3 people who committed these atrocities in order to feed his drug habit. If there is a heaven or hell, I'm sure good old Ernest took the express elevator down, and it's all burn, baby, burn right now.